this jazz guitar lesson, I'm going to reveal a trick I use to invert any chord and create beautiful new chord voicings. If you want to discover new sounds, this tutorial is right for you. Hi fellow jazz guitar explorers, Sandra Sherman here. Greetings from Austria. I'll explain you how the trick works and how to apply it to different kind of voicings and situations. You'll learn it with tensions and how to work around those huge stretches sometimes occur. This way you'll instantly have a plethora of new sounds at hand. This video does not come with tabs because there simply aren't needed any, but I put a link to the chord inversion diagrams I've already made in previous lessons in the description box below down the video. Alright, now let's dig in. Alright, and here's how my trick works. Let's start with a simple chord, a G major 7 without any tensions. I guess you know this chord. If not, we're on the 3rd, 4th, 4th, and 3rd fret. We don't play the A string. The first thing you need to know, and you should maybe write this down, are the chord tones. Alright, so check out the chord tones of this, not of the chord that's supposed, the chord tones that are supposed to be in the chord, but of the exact tones that are in this very voicing. Okay, in this case they match. So we have a G here, an F sharp, a B, and a D. You write this down, G, F sharp, B, D. All right, and now put this in alphabetical order. So ABC order. The lowest note would be the B, continuing with the D, then the F sharp, and then the G. B, D, F sharp, G. That's the alphabetical order. Now, what we do is to invert this chord and get a different voicing is, excuse me, we search the new tone on each string in the alphabetical order. So we start with the G here, and I use two hands because maybe I just had a new voicing. I don't want to let go of these fingers, okay? So I use my second hand here. G, the next tone on your paper in the alphabetical order after G is nothing actually. It starts all over again with B. So B is the next tone. And we search on that very string that we have this tone, a B. And here's a B on the 7th fret. Here we go. Let's give you a better angle. And here we have a B. And I tap my finger on so I remember this. I don't lose it. Next tone is the F sharp. The next tone in the alphabetical order after F sharp in this voicing or with these chord tones is a G. So G is right next to the F sharp. I put my finger on here. All right, I'm on the 7th fret and now on the 5th of the D. I know that's not so good for you to see, but that's how I work, okay? Then I have a B. This B is the next tone. And after B, in my alphabetical order, I have a D. I search for a D on this string, C, C sharp, D. Here we go. So I have 7, 5, 7 already. And here we have a D. Last tone of the chord voicing is a D. In the alphabetical order after D, we have F sharp. D, E, F, F sharp. Here we go. And what we get now is chord 7, 5, 7, 7. B, G, D, F sharp. This way you make sure all the chord tones that you had in the previous voicing are in the next voicing too. We just moved it up. And because now the tones are arranged in a different way, it's an inversion. Because we had the root in bass first, and now the root is right in the middle. And the chord starts with the 3rd. So that's all there is to it. Basically, that's how it works. And I have a tutorial on those easy chords with all the inversions, okay, of major, minor, dominant, half diminished, and diminished. And now let's check more advanced voicings, because now things get a little more tricky. All right? Of course, we can also apply our trick to tension chords, 9, 11, 13 chords, even altered chords with sharp 11, flat 13s in there. Let's say you came across something like this chord, one of my favorite chords, simple G major, 7 sharp 11 chord. Simple to fret, I mean, but sounds good. All you need to know, you don't need to know anything about the chord itself, but you need to know the notes on the fretboard. So what you do now, you write down what tones you have in that chord. G, B, C sharp, F sharp. Write it down. Now arrange it in alphabetical order again. This would make it B, C sharp, F sharp, G. Same tones, just arranged in alphabetical order. Next thing is, again, on each string, we search for the next tone in the alphabetical order. G becomes a B, because after G is nothing, so we start from the beginning again, B. I have a B on the 9th fret of the D string. Search on the same string, otherwise it doesn't work. Then we have a B, and a B becomes the C sharp. There's a C sharp on the 6th fret of the G string. All right, I know you don't see this here, but I'm gonna reveal it in a second, okay? Then the C sharp becomes the F sharp. The F sharp on the B string is on the 7th fret. So I have the 9th fret, the 6th fret, and the 7th. And the F sharp becomes the G on the 3rd fret. Now what we have is 9, 6, 7, 3. And unless you're Alan Holdsworth, this is totally unplayable. I could try. No, it doesn't work. So don't break your fingers here. There's a workaround to that. What you can do is we simply split the chord in two. That's all there is to it. I play the upper 3 strings. That was 3, 7, 6. And I have that, here's the Lydian tone. I still have that same mood. Now, of course, I'm missing this tone, the 3rd of the chord. Doesn't matter. I can play it maybe in the next strum. And then I play the lower 3 strings. 7, 6, 9, 6, 7. So I split that whole thing into 2 parts. Oops. And then it is playable. And the 2 voicings together, the 2 3-note voicings together, blend in for the entire sound we want. It doesn't matter if it's not played at the same time, all 4 tones. Also, the band plays maybe the B and bass at the moment that you don't have it in your voicing. It doesn't matter. It kind of blends as long as it played after. Okay? So we just split it, and that's all there is to it. Okay, let's look at the next voicing. I need 2 hands to fret the whole thing, remember? Now, you write that down again, or remember it, or use 2 fingers. And again, you have written down the alphabetical order. B becomes C sharp now. Here is C sharp. C sharp becomes F sharp. It's also the 11th fret. What else? We got F sharp becomes G now. And we had the G becomes B now. So we have 7, 8, 11, 11. This is unplayable again, at least for me. Maybe you can fret it. I have really tiny fingers. All right, but fear not. We can split it again into a nice upper voicing. And the lower part is easy to play. And all together, have a nice Lydian sound to it, okay? All right, now the next thing you should practice, if you have found a voicing, you came across a voicing in some book or YouTube tutorial, someone showed you a really neat voicing, you invert that. You can invert it if it has 4 tones, you can invert it 3 times. So you have 4 voicings. Yeah. And then the next thing you need to do is practice the voicings from one to the next, especially those 3-tone voicings, because you want to be able to change from here to, let's say, here, right? This way you have all the tones already in there, because remember, there was the B missing here. Now if I remain on the upper 3 strings and I go to the next voicing, the upper 3 strings, now I have the B in there. It is always the case because, I think almost always the case, because now the tones are switched around. Now, oops, sorry. Now in this voicing I'm missing the C sharp, but I had it down here. See? So you may want to practice the new stuff you've invented or created by just moving along the same pair of strings, or triplet, 3, how do you say 3 strings? Is there a word for it? Like pair? Okay, and then you do that with the lower strings. Make sure not to apply the tension chord inversion trick on lower strings. It works only on upper strings because on lower strings there will be a moment you get a tension in bass, and usually that doesn't sound good. All right, now if that tutorial was a little too advanced for you, I have the same thing with just the basic major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, etc. Just 7 chords, okay? And I explain it very detailed there. All right, I hope I see you next week, and you subscribe to my channel, hit that little bell notification so you never miss anything. See you next week. Servus, Baba.